Hey guys, welcome back to the video. For this specific speed paint drawing, I wanted to talk about the design because this actually has to do with the topic of the video, AI inspired art. And this actually stemmed from a conversation I had with my friend. I will plug in her channel in the description below, where we had been debating about the general ideas of AI and using AI in art and whether or not it is a good idea or a bad idea. And after going through a few examples and arguments, I decided to use one of the templates we used that was modified in 3 different iterations, and I took those 3 different iterations and I decided to compile them down into one design, which ends up being what you see here. Now, the original design had a few features that were not really like seen anywhere in the final design, such as the eyes being uh, cross-eyed or maybe not even exist in some of the iterations. The hands for sure were not something that was formed well. In some cases, the hands weren't even shown. Instead, they were gloves. Instead, they were put into pockets. And for this design, while I am not good at drawing hands, I at the very least wanted to try including them nonetheless. As you can see right here, we are currently going over the body plan of the character. Before moving on to the video, it should be mentioned here now that I do have quite a positive opinion on AI art, and I see that more as a tool you can use to try and help get through some creative blocks you may be having and whatnot, as opposed to just simply using AI software to grab a piece of copyrighted material, twist it around as you like, and then simply present that as your own original work. Instead, I feel it is more as an assistive tool that can really help you come up with new and innovative ideas. In some instances, I was trying to use shadows with different types of brushes and strokes, oil painting, or just other techniques to use. It didn't turn out too well, so I ended up defaulting to just more vector brushes and filling in the blanks. Here, as you can see, I'm just filling in the eyes of the character, and you'll notice that I'll be going back to this every now and then. Here you have the jeans, which in one case was just straight cut boots, in other cases was just like high heels with thin tight leggings, with one thing or another. I ended up opting for these baggy pants designs and these very like high platform shoes and the shading as well. The shading itself was composed of like 2 different layers. The hand itself was giving me the most trouble as I had to go back and draw and redraw because I am not good at drawing hands whatsoever. Granted, I'm not good at drawing human anatomy whatsoever, yet here we are. Here, I decided to color it in blue with like a darker tone for the shadow, lighter tone for the part exposed to the light. And on the other side, whereas some of the AI depictions gave it this very thin and long hand, without even having a thumb, I had to go back and maybe fill that in, have the hand shown on the left, maybe be like expanded further on down the hand, cover the hand properly. Then in the next section, I am working on the tail of this character. I tried using different iterations and different methods to do this. However, I was only able to just come up with this simple shading. Next, I'm moving back up to the face, and I wanted to fill in some details with the ears, specifically because I'm not too sure on whether or not I do want to press forward with adding as much outline as possible, or as having as little outline as possible. As you will see, this will have a blend of both. As I go on, I'm hoping to have a more concrete idea as to what it is I want to do when it comes to working with this specific art style, whether or not I should be incorporating more darker outlines or just have no outlines at all whatsoever. Here in this specific case, I think it would have been very difficult to try and detail some of the little hair parts that are just kind of poking out and going every which way, so I felt the need to put in an outline there. There I separated the hair with tiny little streaks to kind of give the hair at least somewhat of some shine. Next came down to the earrings. I just made them simple little diamond earrings, and I put a little nice bow around the chest piece. After that, came down to the lower waist area, and I had to like fill in the blanks, give it some kind of depth, some level of detail in this region and that region. And then came the layering on the skirt, which in some other iterations did not exist, except for maybe just one iteration. So I decided to keep that part of the design in. Of course, these always had some kind of different pattern to them. It was more of a quilted mattress type of texture to it. I cannot really do that at my current level, so I decided to just put in some kind of pattern. So I opted for having this like gray coloration with yellow patterns as well. Then next came the little hibiscus flower, which I originally wanted to do as a sakura flower. Next, I felt the need to put in some kind of backdrop, so I put in a blue coloration, and then I started to work again with this part and that part, going back with the hands, maybe doing a little more design there, going back with the sleeves, add a little more shading here and there, add a little more detail with the tail, and then closer to the final design, as you can finally see here, I have added some more background paint, and as you can see, this is more or less of the final product, the final design, and yeah, that's really it. So as mentioned, while this is, I suppose you can say this is a piece of copyrighted material, which was then just changed and changed again and changed again over and over again to have it straight from the original. I still hesitate to call this like an original or my specific art, since it is most definitely not my original art, but rather a piece of art that was changed and modified to become something a little different from the original. And for that reason, I'm just going to decide to call it AI inspired art. Remember to like the video if you like the video even if you dislike the video, and I'll see you guys next time.